The Trial. Welcome to Snaplit, where we summarize the best of literature. Today, we'll be taking a closer look at Franz Kafka's The Trial. Published in 1925, The Trial is a complex and surreal novel that explores themes of guilt, power, and justice. The story follows Josef K, a successful banker, who wakes up one morning to find himself under arrest for a crime that is never fully explained to him. As he navigates the legal system, he becomes increasingly frustrated and bewildered, and his attempts to clear his name only seem to make things worse. But before we dive into the plot, let's talk a bit about the historical context in which Kafka wrote this novel. Born in Prague in 1883, Kafka was a German-speaking Jew who worked as an insurance officer by day and wrote in his spare time. He never achieved great success during his lifetime, and many of his works, including The Trial, were not published until after his death. Kafka's writing is often associated with the existentialist movement, which emerged in the early 20th century and focused on the individual's struggle to find meaning in an increasingly chaotic and meaningless world. The Trial is a prime example of this, as Josef K is forced to confront the absurdity of the legal system, and the arbitrary nature of power. Now let's turn to the plot of The Trial. The novel opens with Josef K waking up one morning to find two strangers in his room who tell him he is under arrest. He is not told what the charges are, but is allowed to go about his daily life as long as he reports to court when summoned. At first, Josef K tries to ignore the situation and goes about his business as usual. But as he becomes more embroiled in the legal system, he becomes increasingly frustrated and paranoid. He seeks out various lawyers, including a shady character named Huld, but none of them seem able to help him. Meanwhile, Josef K becomes involved with several women, including Lenny, who works for Huld, and the washerwoman, who appears to have connections to the court. These relationships only serve to complicate his situation, as he becomes more and more isolated from the outside world. As the novel progresses, Josef K's attempts to clear his name become increasingly desperate. He even tries to break into the court building at night, but is caught and beaten by the guards. In the end, he is led out to a quarry and executed, with the implication that his fate was predetermined from the beginning. So what does all of this mean? The Trial is a highly symbolic and allegorical novel, and many of its meanings are open to interpretation. Some readers see it as a commentary on the oppressive nature of government bureaucracy, while others see it as a meditation on the nature of guilt and innocence. Regardless of how you interpret it, The Trial is a powerful and thought-provoking work that continues to resonate with readers today. Kafka's writing is both surreal and precise, and he manages to capture the feeling of helplessness and confusion that Josef K experiences throughout the novel. And that's it for our summary of The Trial by Franz Kafka. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Snaplit and learned something new about this classic work of literature.